Bon après-midi. Il est temps de boire un verre de vin. It is time to come in, take a sip, and wind down with me, Christopher. And that is going to be today on the quick crossword number 17,002. Looking so forward to it. And we're doing it today with a French Languedoc. This is a 2020 Chateau Saint-Hélène, and it is absolutely fabulous. It is very well balanced, equal on the tannins and the acids. I would put it in a 12 to 13% alcohol range. And the finish on it is just so clean. And it kind of leaves me neutral as to what I want for dinner, except that it does make me want some smash burgers and some shrimps. So it's been firing up the grill when we're finished with the grids today. And what a wonderful dinner that will be. And just so you know, when you're looking at this Saint-Hélène, I think the best way to describe it, outside of having like this vanilla and tobacco essences, which are definitely separate from each other in the secondary and the tertiary nose and palate, you got a lot of wonderful red and dark stone fruit with this. You know, it's got some other qualities as well. It's just the minerality is just amazing, and it's just so deep and rich and red. It's just a beautiful wine. And again, nose, palate, can't go wrong. Get your hands on this. It's about to be a 5-year event, so if you can get your hands on some, grab them. I got a case of them, and I'm enjoying every bit of it. Okay, lass uns anfangen. Los geht's. Cominciamo. Let's hop into our grid. Let's see what we got here today. Okay, I'll pull this thing up. And I'm going to very carefully, of course, set this thing in here nicely. And then slowly move away as if I'm playing a game of Operation. It takes a very steady hand. And here we go. Transport. Gosh. Car, bus, cab. Who knows? Open a bottle. So we put these in parentheses, so I'm thinking maybe unscrew. I don't know. Accused. Oh, maybe suspect. Zenith. Oh, good. Well, if suspect's correct, that tells me apex, because I was thinking I would have normally probably put in acme there. So okay, apex works. Transport. So I guess we ruled out a car and a cab. We can try a bus. South American flowering shrub. You know, honestly, it's I feel like I know this, like it's named after an explorer or something, but it's not coming to me at all, and it probably won't, because this is a British crossword, and I'm a Yank from Texas, so yeah, okay. Well, you know, it's not often that I can ace one of these. We'll see. Swimming, existing in water. We got 6 letters. We've got a T for our third. I'm going to go with natant. And what's that? Bougain? Feels like it's Bougain. I don't know what it is. I honestly do not know. Here, see, it's the ads up top. They screw me up when they do that. Okay. So not physically there. And we got 2 and 6. So I'm going to go with in spirit. Okay, so an anagram of soul. Well, we'll wait till I get something else, because otherwise you'll sit and watch me stare at that until I figure out what it is. And that would be no fun for anybody, right? So stumpy could probably be short. Could also be squat. So is this maybe a U? We got the soul. Yeah, if that's a U there, I guess this could be a louse. So this gives us squat. Yeah, a bit of confirmation bias. Like I wasn't wanting it to be squat. I don't care if it's squat or short. But I couldn't see anything off the top of my head that would work for the O being the third letter. So yeah, that's what it is. Synthetic playing surface. Feels like this is AstroTurf, since this is something that apparently Brits and Yanks both use equally, it seems. On the air anagram. Okay, so on the air, so we've got a we'll come back to it. I'm sure we can figure it out. Hindu deity. Well, Vishnu, maybe? And, okay, all right. Texas City, well, it helps to be a Texan. But I think everybody kind of knows what this is, right? Botch could be, I guess, to muff. Unless there's something y'all say in your vernacular that I don't. Resistance to change. Stasis. It's too short. Taunt. Just thinking in what I consider my British mindset. I feel like maybe that's a jeer. Resistance to change. So that actually could be inertia. And so then a piece of, with 3 letters, I guess that could be any. Attack of ravenous sharks as an example. We got 7 and 6. So I'm assuming this is a feeding frenzy. Well, it works with any and Houston and Jeer. So I'm feeling a lot better about those all of a sudden. Interim could be acting. And so far, with the exception of whatever 11 across is and 1 across is, we're doing okay. A well-read lot. I'm assuming this would be the literati. And it was the primary reason I was an English major in undergraduate and further studied in depth the liberal arts and sciences in graduate and postgraduate school. So I always wanted to be a member of the literati. Outside of one essay I published in The Atlantic, I'm not a member of the literati, but I'm pretty well read, I guess. Scent could be an aroma. My poor wife's like, okay, you wrote an article for The Atlantic. It's like the greatest magazine on the planet. I'm like, well, what about the New Yorker? And then she's like, well, are you going to write another one? I'm like, why? I published one. I'm kind of good to go now, right? She's like, I don't understand you. I know. Mention. Maybe quote. Oh yeah, I'm sitting here staring at that. I mean, sometimes I think I make this thing out to be more than it is, but I really do. I get so nervous before I do these Guardians because it's just not my comfort level. But I think you'll notice as if you're a regular, I'm getting a little bit better, a little bit more relaxed about this thing than I was when I first started doing these about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Oh, that was no good. I think a string could be a sequence. And get our E in there. So what do we got here? Spear's shaft. That's plain. Well, I think we got a staff down here. So what kind of staff? I have got no idea. So Emirates, 6 letters. I'm going to go with Kuwait. I'd have to think about it for a minute, but I don't know off the top of my head any other 6-letter Emirates. So bonus, I guess, could be a perk. And then, so is this a poke staff? I don't know. We'll find out. Now, I've got to deal with this up here. And I said a while ago, I thought this might be Bouquin, but I cannot remember his last name. He was an admiral. And I'm familiar, and I think I finally remember why I'm familiar with this plant. And it may have been in the Atlantic or maybe the New Yorker. It's primarily what I read magazine-wise. I mean, I like the Wine Spectator and stuff like that, Cigar Aficionado. There are things I like besides this. I get the Chronos magazine. I'm really into wristwatches and horlogerie, but speaking of, there's a British watchmaker named Christopher Ward. Sells, they're not extremely expensive, a few £1,000, I do believe. But I got to get me a Christopher Ward. So next time I go to London, I've got to make it a point to get one of those. And so I'll start saving now. But I really want one of those new watches. He's got a line of them. They have, they're mechanical. They're all mechanical. But they have alarms built into them, and all kinds of other features, some great features that you wouldn't expect. And I think around £4,000 for like a really nice watch. So, which is about half of what an Omega would cost you, and that would be buying one used, right? You know, so it's about a third of what a new Seamaster would cost you, and I feel like that's a bargain. So, being an Omega man, but sharing a name with Mr. Ward, I'm all for it. And I don't know that I'm going to remember this. I just do not. I do believe he was French or Belgian, maybe, but on the air, an anagram. So we've got an E out, an O out. So essentially, we've got a TH we have a TH, A, and an R. So THAR. THAR. So I'm seeing anti-hero. And I guess I'm just going to have to take one on the chin up here for Admiral Bouquin. No, that won't work because of the AstroTurf. I was going to say it was the Bougainville. I don't think that's going to work. So, okay. Well, let me first check all to see if I got anything wrong with what I think I have right. Confirm it. Okay, so apparently it's not a poke staff, but everything else looks good. Let me try a pike staff. Check all. Confirm. Okay, so I don't know what a pike staff is, unless that's a staff that you use to stab pikes, as in fish, freshwater type, saltwater, whatever. I don't know. But yeah, so okay, so pike staff. I got to learn what that is, and I got to certainly learn whoever the admiral is. So let me go ahead and go up here. Let's change the direction, and let me go ahead and reveal this because I don't know. I don't want to sit here and just spend all this time guessing. Oh, that's what I thought it was, but I didn't take into account that it's the Vilea, the term for flora that you get in botany classifications. Good Lord, what an oversight. I could have totally guessed at that and got it right if I had just put in the name and left the A at the end. That just sucks, doesn't it? But it's okay. I mean, I have witnesses. I have you all out there. I know you'll testify on my behalf that I had at least the man's name correct, right? You know, watch me be wrong about his rank or where he came from, but I'm fairly certain Bougainville is a French name. I just need to remember that, you know, we have certain taxonomies in botany that, you know, got it. So, moving on. Yeah. Yes, yes. Il est temps de boire un verre de vin, and I've had more fun than ever having that wine with you today. We're going to toss this thing out of here now, and we're going to bring down our ancien d'adieu. And with that, I just want to say thank you again for all the likes and subscribes. I love the commentary. To my good friend that reached out about solving his grid at the IHOP. You know what? I was dead serious. If you solve a grid within an hour at an IHOP, that's a win, right? I mean, my face would be so buried into the scrambled eggs and all that. It would have been, no, I could have had no time for that. So I say, well done. And I mean that, well done. So until we see you tomorrow, for what I'm assuming is going to be the Guardian Quick 17.3. Ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Macht's gut. Tschüss. Servus. Grüß Gott. Ciao. Cin-Cin. And until I see you for that 17.3 quick crossword, be good to yourselves. Be especially kind to your neighbors and be really, really exceptional to the fellow behind you in the queue. Take care. Be well, my friends.